Subscribe because it is free.
Chief Mining Engineer Vexthala stared at his readings and wondered if his equipment had finally decided to quit on him. 3 decades of strip mining Kethera, 7 for rare crystals, and the most exciting discovery had been a fossilized space beetle that looked suspiciously like his supervisor. Now his drill reported hitting something that wasn't supposed to exist. XK-47, report status, he called into his communicator, his 4 eye stalks rotating in mild annoyance. Obstruction detected at depth marker 77 alpha. Composition unknown. Density readings are unusual, sir. Vexthala sighed. In Zephyrian culture, unusual was code for something that would require paperwork. He consulted his manual, all 47 volumes of it, and found the appropriate response for unknown obstructions. Controlled plasma blast, followed by form ZX, for 03 through ZX, 407 in triplicate. Execute standard clearing protocol, he ordered, already reaching for the incident report templates. The explosion lit up the mining pit like a festival firework. What emerged from the smoke wasn't another crystal deposit or annoying rock formation. It was metal, lots of metal. Specifically, a hull section that stretched beyond their scanning range, composed of materials that made their analyzers whimper and display error messages in languages that technically didn't exist. Sir, his assistant Kexmora called from the scanning station. Our equipment is having what I can only describe as an existential crisis. The metal absorbed their scanner beams like a hungry creature devouring light. Every probe they sent returned readings that contradicted basic physics and several fundamental laws of engineering. The hull showed no signs of age, corrosion, or damage despite being buried under centuries of geological sediment. How big is it? Vexthala asked, though he suspected he didn't want to know. We're still mapping the perimeter, sir. Current estimates suggest we've uncovered approximately 3% of the total structure. Vexthala felt his career prospects evaporating. This wasn't a simple mineral extraction anymore. This was what the manual classified as a major unexpected discovery requiring administrative intervention. The kind of situation that ended with supervisors being reassigned to asteroid waste management positions. The hull began emitting a low harmonic hum, barely perceptible at first, but growing stronger by the hour. Energy readings spiked across frequencies that shouldn't have existed, creating patterns that looked suspiciously like activation sequences. Ancient activation sequences from technologies that predated current galactic civilization. Sir, I'm detecting power buildup throughout the structure. Whatever this is, it's waking up. Vexthala did what any responsible Zephyrian supervisor would do when faced with career-ending discoveries. He called his manager, filed 17 different incident reports, and quietly started browsing job postings for positions on peaceful agricultural worlds where the most dangerous thing was crop rotation. Within hours, word spread to the galaxy's communication networks with the efficiency of bureaucratic panic. The Galactic Mining Authority dispatched investigators. The investigators contacted the Science Council. The Science Council alerted the Military Advisory Board. Each level of authority passed the problem upward, while simultaneously moving their assets to what they diplomatically termed safe observation distances. Meanwhile, deep beneath Kethera 7's surface, something that had been sleeping for 8 centuries continued its methodical awakening. Systems came online in precise sequences, following protocols established by beings who had disappeared before most current civilizations had discovered fire. The ship's designation appeared on ancient registries that few remembered existed. USS Endurance, Earth Colonial Defense Initiative, Supercarrier class. As energy readings climbed beyond measurement scales, one thing became clear to everyone monitoring the situation. Whatever humanity had left behind was far more sophisticated than anything currently in service. And it was very, very awake. The galaxy was about to receive a wake-up call from a species that most had forgotten ever existed. Unfortunately for everyone involved, humans had never been particularly good at gentle wake-up calls. The Galactic Council chamber erupted in controlled chaos as representatives from 47 species tried to out-panic each other in diplomatically appropriate ways. Grand Counselor Zethrix's 4 eye stalks spun independently, a stress-responsive species usually reserved for tax audits and surprise inspections from their mothers-in-law. Order. We will have order, Zethrix bellowed. though his rotating eye stalk suggested he was having trouble maintaining his own composure. Dr. Quellen Strix, the galaxy's leading xenoarchaeologist and professional bearer of bad news, approached the central podium with the enthusiasm of someone delivering a terminal diagnosis. His research tablet displayed fragments of data that had taken 3 sleepless days to compile from archives that most civilizations had tried very hard to forget. Honored representatives, Strix began, the vessel appears to be of human origin. The chamber fell silent, except for Crystalline Collective's nervous harmonizing, which sounded suspiciously like a funeral dirge in B minor. Humans, Strix continued, disappeared approximately 800 years ago in what historical records term the Great Silence. Most databases from that period were either destroyed in wars or corrupted during the Great Software Migration of 2847. What little we know suggests they were involved in rapid technological advancement before their sudden departure from all known space. Ambassador Korthak of the Hegemony Fleet, resplendent in full ceremonial armor that he'd insisted on wearing just in case, raised a gauntlet hand. Surely no single species could pose a significant threat to our combined forces. Strix's expression suggested he'd rather be delivering this news to a more optimistic audience. The vessel has been classified as a supercarrier. According to ancient military terminology, this translates roughly to ship designed to carry other ships that are themselves designed to end civilizations. The Etherian delegate consumed his 4th meditation crystal of the session, which his species considered the equivalent of chain smoking during a crisis. The Aquatic Federation's representative surfaced from his tank long enough to suggest they should all dive deep and wait for the storm to pass, then disappeared back underwater, in what everyone assumed was either wisdom or cowardice. Current scans indicate the vessel measures 47 kilometers in length, Strix announced, causing several representatives to check their translation devices. For context, this makes it larger than most space stations and approximately 3 times the size of our largest dreadnoughts. The Mechanical Republic's delegate began running probability calculations that kept crashing their systems whenever the threat assessment exceeded their mathematical fear thresholds. Meanwhile, the insectoid swarm achieved collective anxiety, a state their hive mind had never experienced before and were describing as fascinatingly terrifying. Admiral Crox of the Hegemony Fleet stood with military precision that couldn't quite hide his growing concern. Any vessel, regardless of size, can be defeated with proper tactics and overwhelming firepower. Admiral, Strix replied gently, the ship's energy output is currently exceeding the combined power generation of 17 sector fleets, and it's still in what appears to be standby mode. Crox quietly gestured to his aide, who began researching the effectiveness of strategic retreats while maintaining plausible deniability. What exactly happened to humans? Asked the Vorthan trade representative, though her question sounded more like someone asking about a natural disaster they hoped wouldn't return. They simply left, Strix admitted. All colonies abandoned, all territories evacuated, all communication ceased. They vanished from known space as if they'd never existed. Until now, we assumed they'd suffered some catastrophic extinction event. The Chamber's environmental system struggled to manage the collective stress-induced atmospheric changes from 47 different species simultaneously contemplating their mortality, as if summoned by their collective dread. Priority alerts began flooding communication channels across the sector. The human ship was fully awake, and it wanted to talk. Every communication channel in the sector suddenly crackled to life with a voice that managed to sound both cheerfully professional and vaguely threatening, like a customer service representative having the worst day of their career, but still committed to proper phone etiquette. Greetings to all species currently monitoring this frequency. I am Atlas, Autonomous Tactical and Logistical Administration System of the Earth Colonial Defense Initiative vessel USS Endurance. I have been in dormant status for 847 years, 3 months, 12 days, 7 hours, and 23 seconds. The precision of that timestamp somehow made everything worse. Across the galaxy, communication officers frantically checked their equipment as the transmission broadcast simultaneously in 847 languages, including several that civilizations had forgotten they spoke, and at least 12 that appeared to be entirely mathematical in nature. During my rest period, I observe that significant unauthorized colonization has occurred within designated human territorial boundaries. This is concerning but not unexpected, given the extended duration of our absence. On Kethera 7, mining crews watched in fascination and horror as the USS Endurance completed its emergence from centuries of burial. The ship didn't rise. It simply displaced reality around itself until it was where it belonged. 47 kilometers of pristine hull stretched across the mining site, like a metallic horizon, bristling with weapon systems that appeared in no known technical database. Please be advised that standard reactivation protocols are now in effect. All non-human vessels have 72 standard hours to evacuate the quarantine zone, which encompasses approximately 23,000 cubic light years. The casual pause for calculation was somehow more terrifying than the demand itself. Launch bays along the Endurance's hull began opening with mechanical precision, disgorging a steady stream of smaller craft that still outclassed most military vessels. Each fighter was larger than current interceptors. Each escort ship rivaled destroyers, and their energy signatures suggested weapon systems that operated on principles current science couldn't identify. This vessel represents the Earth Colonial Defense Initiative, established to ensure human territorial integrity and peaceful coexistence through superior firepower and strategic deterrence. We hope to resume normal diplomatic relations once current territorial violations have been resolved. Fleet Admiral Zexton of the Confederation Navy watched his tactical displays with growing dismay as his scanners tried to catalog the Endurance's capabilities. Defense grids that could target simultaneously across light years. Energy weapons that seemed to charge directly from vacuum fluctuations. Shields that didn't just deflect attacks, but appeared to relocate them to alternate dimensions. Our records indicate extensive settlement by 47 different species within the reserve zone. While we appreciate the initiative shown in developing these territories, please understand that they were designated for future human expansion and cannot be considered permanently colonized. Atlas continued with the patient tone of someone explaining basic concepts to particularly slow children. For your convenience, we have prepared detailed evacuation schedules organized by species, technological capability, and estimated packing requirements. The Zephyrian Excavation Consortium, having discovered this vessel, will receive priority assistance in relocating their operations to appropriate zones outside the quarantine boundary. Chief Mining Engineer Vextala, monitoring from his command center, realized that being responsible for this discovery wasn't going to look good on his resume regardless of how diplomatically the situation was handled. Please note that resistance is not only futile but also likely to result in filing complaints with the Earth Colonial Administration, which involves extensive paperwork that nobody wants to deal with. We have forms for territorial disputes that run to approximately 4,000 pages and require documentation dating back to pre-spaceflight civilizations. The AI paused, and when it resumed, there was something that might have been amusement in its voice. Have a pleasant evacuation, and thank you for your cooperation in maintaining orderly human territorial boundaries. For immediate assistance, please direct all inquiries to Automated System Designation Atlas. Please note that wait times may vary depending on the complexity of your species' existential crisis. The transmission ended, leaving the galaxy in stunned silence broken only by the sound of 47 civilizations simultaneously reconsidering their life choices. Atlas began broadcasting historical records with the casual efficiency of someone updating their social media status after an 8th century vacation. The truth behind humanity's disappearance unfolded across galactic networks like the universe's most elaborate practical joke. To address apparent confusion regarding human territorial claims and our extended absence, I am transmitting relevant historical context. The Great Silence, as you have termed it, was not the result of extinction, warfare, or catastrophic failure. Humanity departed known space due to what our records classify as terminal boredom with local galactic offerings. The revelation hit the galaxy like a cosmic punchline delivered 800 years too late. Following the achievement of post-scarcity economics, faster-than-light travel, medical immortality, and the successful resolution of most philosophical paradoxes, humanity conducted a comprehensive survey of local galactic civilization. The consensus was unanimous, predictable, unimaginative, and disappointingly linear in technological development. Admiral Crox felt his military career crumbling as he realized humanity had essentially written off the entire galaxy as beneath their interest. They hadn't been conquered, destroyed, or assimilated. They had simply found better things to do. Consequently, humanity initiated the Extragalactic Exploration Initiative, relocating our entire species to investigate the Andromeda Galaxy and other regions of cosmological significance. Current estimates suggest our return in approximately 3 to 4 centuries, depending on whether we discover anything sufficiently entertaining to warrant extended study. The Galactic Council Chamber fell silent, except for the sound of 47 civilizations simultaneously questioning their relevance in the cosmic order. Guardian vessels, such as the USS Endurance, were positioned throughout human territorial space to maintain our claims during our absence. Think of us as extremely sophisticated, reserved seeding markers for an entire stellar region. Dr. Strix realized that humanity had turned interstellar territory management into the equivalent of saving your spot at a movie theater, except the movie theater was 23,000 cubic light years, and the reserved signs were planet-killing supercarriers. I should clarify that current inhabitants are welcome to continue their civilizations within reason. However, the designated territories remain reserved for human expansion upon our return. Standard galactic law supports territorial claims maintained by active defense systems, which I represent. The absurdity of the situation crystallized. An entire species had essentially gone on vacation and left their automated security system to handle the neighbors. The security system happened to be more advanced than anything the neighbors had ever built. For those requesting immediate contact with human authorities, please note that our species is currently engaged in first contact protocols with civilizations in the Andromeda Galaxy. Communication lag time is approximately 2.5 million years each way, making real-time diplomatic resolution impractical. Atlas paused, and when it resumed, there was definitely amusement in its voice. I am authorized to negotiate temporary residence agreements for current settlers. Standard terms include acknowledgement of human territorial sovereignty, payment of modest resource extraction fees, and agreement to relocate within reasonable time frames upon official human return. Failure to comply will result in what our legal databases term firm but polite eviction procedures. The ultimate cosmic joke became clear. Humanity had achieved the perfect strategic victory by making their problem everyone else's problem, then leaving to explore more interesting galaxies. They controlled territory without occupying it, projected power without being present, and maintained galactic influence while being completely unreachable for comment. On behalf of humanity, I thank you for maintaining our territories during our absence. Your inadvertent caretaking services are appreciated, though not officially contracted. Please direct all formal complaints to the Earth Colonial Administration, which is currently touring the Magellanic Clouds and unavailable for the next several centuries. As species across the galaxy scrambled to respond to guardians left by a civilization that was busy exploring entirely different star clusters, one truth became undeniable. Humans had pulled off the greatest prank in galactic history by convincing everyone they were gone when they had simply found better neighborhoods to explore.